What's up, everybody? This is the Healing Kings podcast, and I'm your host, Drew Koss. And today I have a question for you. Did you ever want to coach as a man, as a woman, and you kept feeling that you weren't going to be good enough, you didn't know how to do content, you didn't know how to make the first step? If that's you, if you felt I was just talking to you in front of you, stay tuned for more. In this episode, as I go further, I want to invite you to listen and come along for this journey to understand that you can coach. Is that saying everybody should be a coach? No. Can everybody coach? Yes. There is a skill behind it. There's formulas you can follow. But more than that, if you have a story of overcoming anything or breaking a barrier, if you're just one step ahead of somebody, you can coach them. Now, most people will fall in love with thinking that they cannot coach because they're not at the level of a higher coach, right? One of the higher coaches that I love with all my heart and I wish to work with him one day, Myron Golden. I am not at Myron Golden's level, but I'm at a level where I can coach somebody who's stuck with content. I'm at a level where I do coach men who are stuck physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm at a level where I can coach someone on making decisions in their business. So yes, I can coach people how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to get stronger, because those things I've actually done. I have evidence for doing those things. This is how you want to look at coaching. When I help men with coaching, what we realize immediately is they're usually stuck in the business part of it because they're stuck emotionally, right? If you're stuck emotionally, there's going to be some hangups in the actual business. There's no way around that. I'm always going to advocate that, men, you need either a life coach or a therapist as you are in business, because you don't realize what's up here when that's stuck. Trust me, it will show up in your business, or it will show up in how your business is not growing. Now, can anybody coach? Yes, I'm always going to say yes. And my reasons are, number one, you just need to be a step ahead of somebody. You just need to be a step ahead of somebody, not 10 steps. And you can grow along with the client as long as you're just one step ahead of them. A cool formula I can't talk today. A cool formula that you could think about is, what are some subjects that I'm not only just passionate about, but what are some subjects that I know the world needs that I've overcome? I honestly think single moms could become coaches. They've learned how to balance. They've learned how to stay sane of some sort. They've learned how to do so much with so little. That's a skill. I believe men who can fix cars, who are handymen, they can coach men who aren't. I believe men who are good at cooking can coach men who aren't. You can coach somebody on anything if you've done it. So finding out, am I passionate about it? Am I good at it? Will people pay me? A lot of the times, yes. Now, someone may yell right now, Drew, it's not all about payment. No, it may not be all about payment, but you also have to realize that you're taking your time out for something. And when you're taking your time out for something, you're probably taking that time away from your family. So I tell people all the time, my community service to the world is my podcast and my content that I put on social media. You can learn a lot from there. You can make some dollars from there. But for me to go months and months of coaching you for free, it's not going to happen anymore. Back in the day, yes, but not anymore. Why? People do not pay attention when they don't pay. They do not take it serious. And I have a family that I have to take time away from or schedule things so that I can be present on those calls in that session and things like that. I digress. So what's really the thing that holds people back? Fear. What are people going to say if they see me coaching? What are people going to say if I don't have all the degrees? What are people going to say if I seem like I'm a fraud? People are going to say whatever they want to say, whenever they want to say it, regardless of who you are. That's just going to happen. Now, if you can confront your own fear, then you'll see that they're really just projecting some things that you may be feeling about yourself. Can I get an amen, right? Clap for the preacher. Stop. One thing I realized when I was getting into coaching was I was so feared that someone was going to find out what I didn't know. So when I addressed it, I didn't go into sessions telling people, I don't know A, B, C, D, E. So if you ask me those things, I don't know. No. When something came up that I didn't know, I said, hey, I don't know. I'll get you an answer. And I would go and I would study on that. And I would teach on that because for me, I learned also through teaching. I didn't go teach at college, but I went and taught it through social media or just somebody else. And now I have more tools and I have more knowledge in my bank. So the fear of they may find out I don't know a lot. If you can confront that, you're good. You confront it by just confronting it. I don't know a lot of things, cool. But I do know 3 things, and I'm going to teach on those 3 things. And then when I learn 4 things, I can teach on 4 things. So confronting your own fear, that's number 1. The second reason why most people get stuck on really moving forward in their coaching, they don't have a plan. They don't know what to do. They don't know if the first step is building a website, getting a LLC, getting colors. I can tell you right now, getting a website is not the first thing you should do. It's not. I believe the first thing you should do is have a legal way of getting payment. I do believe you should end up getting an LLC to protect yourself and things like that, and have the business more structured, but definitely not a website. What most coaches do is because they feel they can't afford the website up front is they use that as a barrier. As I coach men and they're trying to move forward, that usually becomes the barrier. Oh, I don't have a website, so I should just wait. Man, I've sold plans through Google Docs, through a Linktree, through just a post. The website can come later. Is it important? Yes, it could come later. You can design a Canva landing page until you get your website page. That can become a barrier because it takes some money. It takes hiring somebody, so you can just kind of like go into that like coasting mode and start lying to yourself. We don't need you to do that. So they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. They don't know what next step to make. They don't know what strategy to follow because it's so many gurus and coaches yelling out so many different things. So fear, they don't have a plan. And then the last one is, they don't have a strategy. The last one is they don't have support. Coaches need coaches. I always say this, if your coach does not have a coach, your coach should not be coaching. You need support from either a community or another coach because they're guiding you in a forest that you've never been in. They're guiding you in a way where you can look at something and you see this is a good route, and they're like, that looks like a good route from afar, but if you get closer, there's a booby trap there. Right? There's something there that you haven't seen that I see because I've seen it so many times, and I've actually gotten caught by that same trap. With all of this, part of our programs, one-on-one or a group, we help with those 3. We help identify what are the fears that you have. There's an acronym that we've always heard before. Fear is false evidence appearing real. We identify what are the fears that you have around starting. We help you create a plan, a strategy that makes sense for you. We don't need to give you a strategy for a surgeon when you're not a surgeon, or a 20-year coach when you're starting year 1. And thirdly, we support you. Whenever we give high challenge, we give high support. So you understand you're not on the journey alone. You're not trying to figure out this whole thing on your own. And this gives you a better chance of being successful as a coach. Now, why do we even do something like this? Because I was that coach. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do a lot. But I knew I wanted to help somebody get past step A. I wanted to help somebody get unstuck. I wanted someone to feel the support. And I just said, I'm going to figure this thing out by a lot of trial and error, eventually YouTube, and then eventually getting smarter and hiring a coach. If I hired a coach quicker, I could have made a lot of more success way quicker. So instead of beating on myself, I just take all those years of trial and error and I teach you that. I help you learn that. So if coaching is something that you want to do, it can be fitness coaching, it can be consulting, it can be just growing a coaching business, getting unstuck in some way with the business, let us know. Contact us at www.drewcost.com. We would love to help you. Guys, make sure you subscribe as we leave. Why? You help me spread this message of hope to the world. And without you, there's no podcast. Without you, there's no YouTube channel. Without you listening, there's really no reason for me to be on this mic at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I love y'all and I want y'all to help me love other people and give them information. Go be great, guys. Go be great.